It's Phil Ratcliffe with Rebel Financial, and thanks for tuning in today for another live broadcast. I'm back, had a little vacation down to Florida. Spent half of it re-energizing and the other half doing a financial planning conference. So sharpening the old brain. So hope you guys are doing well, enjoying the cooler weather. Today we got special guest Art Duckwitz in with us. Thanks, Art, so much for coming in.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And today we're going to talk about a really important and pretty timely with everything that's going on with Equifax, talking about legal services where you prepay on them and also ID theft services.
Correct.
So, kind of as we dig into that, tell us a little bit about legal services that you prepay for, like how you do the membership.
Well, first of all, let me say one thing. LegalShield has been around for over 45 years now.
I saw it like 1972 is
1972.
Right?
And what we do is we bring affordable access to the legal system for individuals, families, and businesses, the business entity, because people just don't use attorneys.
Sure.
And the number one reason is cost.
They're afraid they're just going to get billed for every minute on the phone, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And they do. Attorneys bill by about every 10 minutes, so you have to be very careful.
And they don't round down, do they?
They don't round down. Exactly. So what we do is we bring it affordable for a low monthly fee, and we're talking $20 or less per month.
That's affordable.
You have unlimited access to attorneys to ask them any question you want.
Awesome.
Okay? And they'll fill you in on your
legal rights. And it was started because your founder had a bunch of legal fees, right? And he's like, there's got to be a better way.
Yes, he was being sued, and it was not his fault. And he says, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
So that was Harlan Stonecipher.
Cool. So what kind of issues can people get into and use on the legal services?
Well, any legal issue. It could be landlord-tenant issues, traffic issues, real estate issues, finance issues, estate planning, which I'm sure you do a lot with in your business, criminal issues. We cover it all, okay? And for that low membership fee, some of those are covered at 100%. And if it's not covered, we're still going to help you.
Yeah.
And that as long as you're a member, you get 25% off the hourly rate of an attorney, which the hourly rates of attorneys, they're not cheap.
And with technology and everything, you guys have even made it easier now with, you got an app, something comes up. You can take a picture of the ticket, send it over, call somebody right away, and, right?
Exactly. In fact, our CEO came from Microsoft, and he's brought us into the 21st century. In fact, that's the way the legal industry is going these days, access.
Well, like you said, it's expensive, so anything that we can do it to make it more efficient for the attorneys to do it faster, then we can have lower costs.
Exactly.
Right?
Just tap that app, and you can start preparing your wills, living wills, healthcare power of attorney. You can take a picture of your citation that you may have just received and send it right over to the law firm so they can prepare if it's a defensible ticket. There's legal forms on there that you can look up, hundreds of them, and it's all part of your membership. Or emergency access. A lot of us, bad things happen to good people.
Sure. And
it could happen after hours. And even people that pay for an attorney on retainer, which you don't have to do here, you can get on that phone, and under emergency situations, we can have an attorney on the phone with you within a couple minutes.
That's awesome. So if somebody breaks into your house and you shoot them or something like that, you're going to need an attorney.
I think I'd be calling one real quick, Or child custody issues.
Sure.
Someone knocking on your door wants to...
Driving away and they shouldn't be doing what they're doing with one of your children or what. So. Okay. So what types of... you mentioned it briefly, but what types of plans do you guys offer?
Well, we have the legal plan, which can be a plan for an individual. It can be for a family, and the family includes, the member and the spouse or significant other. We say significant other in that you don't have to be married. You can be living together.
Just household.
Living under the same roof. And children. As many children as you have up to the age of 26, never married, living at home.
So probably used to be like 18, and then the ACA, then they bumped it up to 26 or whatever.
Exactly. We follow kind of the insurance industry standards or whatever. And then the other products that we have are business legal plans.
Which we have personally. So we can speak to that personally.
Which helps the business entity, and we also do group benefits for businesses to help employers offer something that our employees can use, and it also helps the employer with retention, with absenteeism and productivity issues, because people that have legal issues or identity theft issues are absent 5 times more than the average employee.
Sure. And then the stress of just having all those bills, like medical bills, having the legal bills, it just could probably take away from people's productivity and happiness as well, too.
Right. You don't have to worry about your pocketbook, okay, when you're thinking of calling an attorney. Okay, that's taken apart. They're already paid because through your membership. And we do collectively, okay, through millions of members, what an individual does on his own when they are wealthy enough to afford an attorney.
Sure.
We take that wealth part of it and do it collectively. So we have an attorney when you call them. They're already being paid to talk to you. Okay?
Yeah, so I mean, when we talk about like prepaying the legal services, that's what you're talking. It's like insurance for legal. And so since maybe most of us won't need an attorney all the time, we're all paying, then the person that's needing it's getting that, and it works more efficient.
Exactly. In most of our situations, the law firm in the state, their largest client, and we have some of the best law firms in the country as part of our network, the LegalShield business that they have, we are their largest client.
Because there's somebody always using, right?
Well, and we have thousands of members in each state.
Yeah.
We cover about well over 4 million lives now across the United States.
That's awesome.
And Canada.
Yeah.
Right? And we're growing by leaps and bounds. Okay?
Cool. So, like we had started about talking about kind of at the beginning, it's timely with what's going on with all the data breaches from different companies. You guys also do the ID theft as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
We do. In fact, identity theft, which, 15, 20 years ago was not a household item. People didn't really realize.
Sure.
But with the exchange and the storage of information all on data now, or on hard drives or through the phone or through the Ethernet or internet, whatever you want to call it, it opens the door for criminals to take that information and become you and do not nice things to you.
Absolutely.
So, yes, back in early 2000s, we were actually the first company to address identity theft and to help victims of identity theft. In fact, we partnered with a company called Kroll Advisory Solutions.
Okay.
And Kroll is the world's leading risk management company in the world. And they've been around for over 45 years also. Governments calling Kroll for their expertise. Some of the major hacks that have happened recently are called in, the Kroll investigators. All of their people are licensed private investigators, forensic investigators. So we focus on, and working with Kroll, they had all the resources in place before identity theft was even an issue, and they came to us to form a partnership because they realized that identity theft 70-80% of the time involves some type of legal issue. And they wanted a network of law firms. It's a natural fit, and we formed a partnership and offer the ID Shield now. Okay, and we do extensive monitoring. But let me make one thing clear: nobody who does monitoring is going to be able to prevent identity theft. That's just an impossibility.
You're just going to know faster.
We're going to know faster and help maybe mitigate some of the trouble. You guys,
I think, to my knowledge, are one of the only firms that provide like an individual, like almost like investigator to help you get your identity back.
We are the only organization that we provide you with a licensed private investigator, one of Kroll investigators. Nobody else provides that.
All their stuff is just online, 1-800 number. Yeah.
Right, and we actually, through a limited power of attorney, they now have the authority from you to go out and restore that identity for you.
So it's not as much of a headache.
Well, you don't have to do. There are things you have to do. File a police report, and there may be some small things, but the big things, we're talking maybe medical files.
Instead of 100 hours, maybe you're only going to put 10 or 20 in because they're going to help so much.
And we absolutely will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, okay, no matter what the cost. In fact, we put a $5 million service guarantee behind our product.
That's awesome.
And we're going to restore it to where it was before it was compromised.
Cool.
So if you had bad credit, it'll go back to bad credit.
One of the things that when you came and talked to us and we ended up doing something for our employees is doing a group, you get a discount. Doing the ID theft with the LegalShield together, you get a discount, and it's really affordable, and then we chip in some for the employees. To me, it's like a no-brainer to have that.
Well, a lot of employers offer this as a voluntary benefit to their employees, and I like the way you approach it, Phil, and that is it's kind of a partial fringe, if I could call it that, where you're paying part of it, but the employee doesn't see the value unless they have a little skin in the game, like you like to call it.
Yeah.
And then they see the value.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're talking for less than 50 cents a day, their whole family is covered.
Yeah.
Not only their legal protection, but their identities are protected, and they're being monitored.
I think it's a great value. Yeah. So, well, cool. The last thing I kind of wanted to hit on that I really hadn't really looked until I had gone on here, but that Bill of Rights that you have on here, I thought was really cool. In terms of just talking about like your all's promise to members to just say how fast people are going to get help, depending on different situations. And it's kind of like your rights with LegalShield to like really say what's our customer service to you when you're really going to need things, right?
We take customer service. We're adamant about it, okay? Attorneys, when they go to law school, they don't receive training in customer service, okay? We've built that into our system where, for instance, when you pick up that phone and call the LegalShield office in your state or your community, an attorney will call you back and must call you back within 8 hours. Here in Ohio, the average is about 2 hours.
Yeah, okay? That's great, yeah.
And then if that doesn't happen, we have a resolution department to make sure that's corrected. It could be the whatever the attorney is doing.
Because everybody's busy these days.
Everybody's busy.
And I'm sure attorneys think they're busier than most people.
Well, I mean, try and call your own attorney, okay? You don't know when you're going to get that call back. We guarantee you it will be within 8 hours. Or if you have a document that needs to be reviewed, and we review documents as part of the plan, so you know what's in that document. Another attorney wrote it.
Yeah.
Why don't you have your attorney look at it? But you can send that document over, and they have to review that and then get back to you within 3 business days.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask your own attorney to do that.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah,
so,
sure. I guess it just depends probably on if they're too busy or no, right?
Well, and but our attorneys are getting paid to do that.
Cool. Well, is there anything you'd like to leave everyone with in terms of services or things going on, kind of as a last tidbit for them?
Well, between the identity theft and the individual or the group plans, I encourage employers to look at this as a voluntary group benefit for their employees, because it is no cost to them.
Sure.
And ends up in the long run saving them money and a lot of peace of mind and increased productivity. And last but not least, not many people are aware of this, but we also partner with a company called Go Small Biz out of Atlanta. And it's headed up, the CEO is, maybe you know this name, Fran Tarkenton.
That sounds familiar.
NFL Hall of Famer for the Minnesota Vikings.
Cool, yeah.
Okay. He's been an advocate for small business ever since he left the NFL. And in fact, he testifies in front of Congress. He's a real advocate for small business and their rights and tools that they can use. We partner with them not only to bring the legal aspect to businesses through our business plans, but they have a part of this which brings consultants, business consultants, like you're talking to your attorney, and you can talk on things on finance, human resources, e-trade, e-commerce. We even provide website builder for you. So you have access to CEOs, CFOs, COOs to help you through your difficulties in your business, because most small businesses, 7 out of 10 who fail, it's because they didn't seek good advice.
Sure. So we've been flashing it up here, but kind of auditorially, tell people how they can get in contact with you if they'd like to talk about this more.
Well, basically, I think you have my phone number. It's 740-816-1637, or you can go to our website, which is LegalShieldAssociate.com. LiveBroadcast.com/hub/F as in Frank, the number 5, ISS. Indigo Sam. And that's my company that we have our LegalShield business through.
Well, cool, Art. Thanks for coming in today and sharing this important information with everybody. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I think it's a wonderful service you provide for your
we think so, too. It's like,
partners.
get the word out, help people in any way that we can, help you grow your business. It's important. So thanks again. You guys, thanks so much for sharing part of your day with us, learning about this important subject. Keep joining us every Friday, 10:30. We'll have a different guest on. Next week, we have Senator Kevin Bacon coming on, share with us a little bit about being an Ohio senator, some of the things he's working on. It's going to be awesome. And then the week after that, it's Veterans Day. We're going to have a guy, Brian Kennedy, coming in here to talk to us about, he owns a company building custom firearms, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that, a little bit about firearm safety. It's going to be awesome as well, too. So you guys keep warm out there as winter starts to pull in on us, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Phil.